It's an ML Sports Take brought to you by Batavia Downs Gaming and St. Bonaventure University's online Masters in Journalism. Get it done in under 2 years at sbujournalism.com. Have I made mention yet that I'm sick and tired of this season, that I can't wait till it's over with? Holy cow. Bonnie's fall to 2-8 in the A10. I can't even believe I'm looking at that number, by the way. 2-8 in the A10. 2-8. Hey, you lose at Dayton, VCU, but all these other losses they've had, wow. I mean, 2-8 in the conference, and they might even be lucky to be at that number. They're also 13-10 overall, and I'm not sure this team's going to finish over 500 at this particular point. This game was, it was like literally chewing glass watching it, especially in the first half, right? I mean, before really you kind of felt like there was any hope, any life. I mean, Dayton was controlling everything in this game. The Bonnies were getting out-coached. They were getting outplayed. They were getting out-physical, out-manned. No life, no focus, no sets, no movement on either side of the floor. I mean, it was brutal, right? And, you know, I look at the turnaround there. I mean, they're down 11 it's funny because it was 41-30 at the half, and then the second half was 40-31 in favor of Bonaventure. And a lot of that had to do with the second half in terms of, you know, Dayton goes through just this redonkulous 7.5, 8 minute cold stretch. Kind of allowed, you know, the Bonnies to get into it. I also noticed on ESPN.com, in a totally unrelated matter, that when you go to the play-by-play, they've now got like the logo of the team, what they did, who it was, the time and the half, instead of just like the score all the way to the right, and then like a couple little nuggets. So there's more to look at. It's more detail, which is great. The problem is there's more to look at. So, but you know, when you look at the game log type of a thing, this game, like, it didn't really feel great. You know, I mean, Bonaventure is kind of trying to find their way. Bowen was not good for a big stretch in that game. You know, Bona's starters totally outplayed. You know, at one point in 2016, 2017, 2018, the Bonnies were kind of battling back there a little bit. Bunaway, you know, Charles had a big defensive rebound. Bowen got the layup, and it was 20 all, and you're kind of like, all right. And it was 1.2 point, you know, X amount of points. And then all of a sudden, like, Bonaventure kind of lost its way. You know, it became, where was that big stretch there? So 24-22, all of a sudden goes 27, 22, 28, 22. And this is really a stretch where I'm talking about where Bonaventure was just getting completely outmanned and out everything. And certainly on defense, I talked about this all year. They chase on defense. They're constantly chasing, and they're behind the play. You know, Bennett makes that three-pointer to make it 33-24, and then it's really they're in control, you know, right up until the buzzer. And then it's an 11-point game, you know, after Letang makes a layup, and they're up 11 at that point at the break. And then in the second half, it just kind of became, you know, a ball game. Dayton goes on that cold stretch. The thing is, when you look at the overall stats, you're going to look at Bona and go, all right, 48% from the floor. A lot of that happening during the Dayton cold stretch. Also, 3-point happy. It's an annoying place to be in college basketball. You start settling for the 3-point shots, just hoping, thinking, assuming that, well, a couple will go in, and we're living in the Steph Curry world of just keep chucking and lucking, right? Well, Bonaventure chucked. They chucked last night, boy, didn't they? 4 for 19 from 3. And this is not a 3-point shooting team, and yet when they are relatively warm, not hot from 3, they don't make more offensive sets to create 3-point shots. They are a streaky 3-point shooting team, but it seems like they get into 3-point happiness and they miss, and then they overshoot. And then when they're warm, they don't shoot it enough with offensive sets. I just, you know, you just don't know what to say anymore with this team. They got to the free throw line fine, 17 free throws. They made 14. Rebounding was overall good. They just lost a bunch when it mattered most, probably down the stretch, which we've seen a bunch. Had no answer for Bennett, you know, really in this game at all. Dayton also got 23 points off the bench. You know, Bonaventure gets no points off the bench. You know, again, Schmitz talked about how the bench doesn't really matter, I guess. Jim Boeheim used to talk about that all the time too. It's like, well, my starting five is playing amazing. The bench doesn't matter. I can go 6, 7 deep. Cool. All the starters were in double figures for the Bonnies, but it was kind of a roller coaster ride to get there. But the second half, cool down by Dayton. Bonaventure efficiently getting it done in terms of mid-range and in, I think, was kind of how the Bonnies clawed back in this game. But I want to fast forward to the end of the game, which was just absolutely unbelievable, right? So these telecasts, they seem to get worse and worse. I mean, does the broadcast team do any research? Does the broadcast team know anything about St. Bonaventure? Because I'm listening to the color commentator. And in the last few possessions, he's talking about how Bonaventure has a veteran group. They've been in these situations before. Nothing phases them. Huh? What? The Ironman 2.0 is long been gone from Ole in New York, ladies and gentlemen. But who is he talking about? They have a bunch of basketball people from different planets. Osasui has not played much basketball. They have international players who have never played D1. They have no bench, and Joe G came from Basketball Mars. Caden Charles was a D2 player. What? Nothing phases them? I mean, what are we joking? Bowen has been banged up and came from Iowa, and it's his third year with the Bonaventure Bonnies, and I don't even know if he's found his way in the culture of the program. I don't even know. I don't even know who he is at this point. It's the third year, or second year, excuse me. I mean, I have no idea who he is still. No idea. I have no clue who he is. None. And last I checked, this team folded down the stretch. I mean, for this whole nothing phases them. Really? They had to come back to beat Colgate. They lost to Ohio. They struggled for 30 minutes against Lemoyne. And since that Lemoyne game, they've lost every game but 2. Every game but 2. Including a home game against George Mason, where they were up 14 points and played not to lose. Which, by the way, in that game, if nothing phases them, they would have been able to close that. Now, you want to yell about coaching, you want to yell about play, right? I was told in that broadcast last night that the Bonnies, nothing phases them. Okay. Bullshit. The next thing that I heard was, and by the way, down the stretch, one play here, one play there, whatever you want to, Richmond, Fordham, St. Joe's, LaSalle, to a degree Duquesne, and certainly the Mason game from blowing the lead standpoint. If you knew about the Bonnies team, you would have, A, never said that, and B, you would have pointed to all those games, and if you had watched some of the games, maybe you did, but you were napping in a recliner, just fast forward to the last 4 minutes. Because this team has had trouble closing the entire season. This team has had trouble figuring out what the hell the identity is, what you want to do. 8 minutes left in the game. Mostly. And the other thing that bothers me about that comment is you can't fool this group. Like, you can't fool this fan base in the alum here. I've been doing videos with you guys and gals for years now. I go back down to campus on occasion, would like to get down there a lot more. I was just down there a couple weeks working for ESPN for the St. Louis game. We have smart people. We have smart basketball people, smart alum, people who know the game, people who are well connected in the game, people who appreciate the school and the conference and like the history and the opponent, and they understand basketball, X's and O's, how it works, why it matters, like what is going on, where the flaws are. We have alum that care so much and understand so much that we had our most famous alum leave millions of dollars on the table to come back and be the general manager at the school. So when you're a broadcaster and you start spitting shit out like that, it pisses me off. Like, it really does. Because I'm in the media industry. And you shouldn't be just doing that. Like, I remember Doug Gottlieb when he came on my show in Syracuse, like, talking about Syracuse's schedule and the Boeheim thing and all that. And he was just bitter anyway because Boeheim, didn't follow through with the recruiting and all the rest and the whole credit card thing and the history of Doug Gottlieb. And the guy's a complete schmo. But he came on my show and he was like, well, sometimes you're just on TV. You know what I mean? You just say stuff. No, I don't. No, I don't. And these people are making a lot of money to do that, right? Like, I get ratings. I get the Skip Bayless and Stephen A. Smith and all that. But this is CBS Sports Network last night. I mean, what were the ratings for this last night? Seriously. What did they get? Like a 1.5? You can't just go say this stuff on the telecast. You can't just go just throwing stuff out there. I mean, this is Bonaventure-Dayton. These are two decent brand, great fan base programs in the A10. Like, Dayton's gone and beaten big-time teams in the NCAA tournament. They're both well-known nationally. I mean, I don't, like, you can't just go say this stuff. Go look at what's happened in the last couple of minutes about how, like, oh, well, this team knows how to do it. That nothing phases them. They can close. This is a veteran group. No, it's not. None of those things are true. None of them. Because this is the makeup of the NIL portal era, and this season is completely fallen apart. And all of these losses, a lot of these freaking results have come from down the stretch and possibly not playing together and not being able to close and not knowing each other's tendencies. And 1 minute playing defense and then not playing defense and then the give up and then stupid ass coaching pulling Mitchell out. And, well, we got to keep going to the big guy. We got to dump it down there. We got to bring him up for the high screen. And then turnovers happen. All this stuff is going on. So to say that in a telecast is just absolutely, it's bonkers to me. It's bonkers. Do some freaking research, man. That's not what's happened in this season. It's not. That's why you see 2-8 in the right column, dudes. That's why you see 13-10 as an overall record. The other thing that really was unreal last night, and I'll end on this because I'm tired of this game. I'm tired of this season. I'm over all this. There were a few straight possessions where it was like, again, broadcast, what are they going to come up with? What are they going to do here? Well, I'll tell you what they're going to do. Nothing. A play comes in and then what? Like oh, Mark Schmidt screaming the play in. Well, guess what it ended up being? Right? The last play was a Simmons dribble up, foot kind of lean three off the front rim. Well, not a high percentage shot. He was kind of off balance. He leaned in. If he makes it, they win the game. Great. But it wasn't going in. It wasn't. And then the two times before that, Bonaventure's got guards on separate occasion. Like, the play comes in, and it turns out to be an ISO play. It's just like, go figure it out. Like, go just see what's going. So it's almost like, and then Dayton knows it's unreal too, because the last several plays of the game when, again, this team's so clutch and nothing phases them and they're a veteran group. Well, what? Because Dayton knew when Mitchell comes, they bring the guy right out. I mean, it's so obvious and it's so easy for these defenses and for these freaking coaches to know what Bonaventure's going to do. Do something different. And if the play's coming in from the baseline, there's 6,000 plays in the playbook, I'm told. So what is it? I mean, what is coming in if the 2 out of the last 3 are ISO? Because that's what the guards are doing. Are they not running the play? Do they not want to run the play? Is there something going on off ball? There were 3 guys standing around. What is the play? And the ISO happens, and then you've got a mess, a turnover, guys falling to the ground. What is the play? What is it? Just like George Mason down the stretch. What are you doing and what are you running? For God's sake, St. Louis doesn't run a ton of plays during the game. They don't run a lot of sets. They run to the ball, to the motion, to this point. And they rotate and blend and they pass and cut and they go. And sometimes the set's called before. Sometimes it breaks down and the play comes in and off you go. But they don't run set after set after set. And I'm not saying you have to. But my God, what is being run when the game is on the line? And it ends up being ISO. And it ends up being like, just throw shit against the wall and hope it sticks. And by the way, there were a couple times where Bonaventure pulled out 2 people out on the high post. What is that going to do? And Dayton pulled 2 guys with him. Then you have the clog job, and then nobody moves away. And because Mitchell's slow, he leaves, and it's like, oh, well, we got to wait for him to get down there because we probably should go to him again because that's the only thing we can do. What is this? What has happened to this season? 72-70. Dayton wins it over Bonaventure. 13-10 overall, 2-8 in the A10. Mike Lindsley here, ML Sports Take, brought to you by St. Bonaventure University's online masters in journalism and Batavia Downs Gaming. Stay, play, dine, and win at BataviaDownsGaming.com. And of course, thanks to select partner friends of the program as well, Mark Alberti, Matt Motika, Dan Davidson Jr., and Dan Davidson Sr. If you want to become a partner friend of the show, would really appreciate the support. Just shoot me an email, super easy, Venmo, PayPal. Just mention you thousands of times during the year. It can incorporate you into all my other content, plus these videos as well. MikeLSports1979@gmail.com. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel at ML Sports Platter. Also, a quick note, I got hacked terribly into my X account, my Twitter. I have no idea what's going on. The people got back to me, but they're telling me there's another account under my email. So I can't reactivate. It's Banana Lands. Whoever hacked me created an account that's bogus. So now I don't know. I have 3 accounts out there, 2 with the same email, one of which I don't know about. I just want to reactivate my Mike L Sports one. So if you're looking for stuff on there, in addition to, it might be a while. I'm trying to troubleshoot it. But the YouTube's open. The Facebook is open. The Instagram is open. I'm still hitting my reach. I'm still doing my thing. Obviously, the Twitter is great because I'm getting tons of views off of it when I go live and I post, several thousand views across the board when I do a bunch of stuff. So, but yeah, hit me up on all the other social stuff. And I'm going to keep these videos going until this season ends, which, again, I cannot wait until the season is over. As I always tell you, enjoy the games.